Hello guys, so this is the first, I guess, well not really the first, first Aizawa, but this is part of a, kind of lore for a Bakugo one, and also a lot of other characters, so I just decided to use them because, well, you guys are gonna need these for lore if you guys do listen to those, so yeah, hope you guys enjoy! Yin, goddess of the moon, dream, healing, and the tide, many gods and mortals alike see her as calm, quiet, and aloof goddess. That couldn't be further from the truth, and Aizawa would confirm that. Aizawa was Yin's angel and her protector from the creatures of the night, while Yin guides the moon and the moon palace across the sky, as Aizawa kept the many demons at bay during the night. Though there are some times where it seems that he was taken to task to keep Yin out of trouble. Aizawa, a new life is about to be born, Yin said excitedly as she stared into the crystal world. The world crystal sat in the middle of the marble stone room, on a pure diamond pedestal. It had the power to show anything Yin wanted to see currently happening. Aizawa sighed as he stepped into the chambers. Yin waited for him with a smile. Lady Yin, shouldn't you be guarding the palace? Aizawa sighed, grabbing the bridge of his nose. Well, it'll be fine. It's the night of the new moon. It will be fine, Yin reassured. With a sigh, he quickly stood next to her as the glowing crystal shone a bright light. Suddenly, the room appeared different, as it took on the illusion of a delivery room inside a human home. Inside, a green-haired lady was in the process of labor, with two midwives helping her. It was all chaos when the cry of the baby ran through the room. The room went quiet as everyone stopped in awe at the baby. Yin smiled as she passed through the crowd to see the green-haired baby with adorable freckles on his cheeks. Welcome to the world, little one, Yin cooed as she patted the baby softly. Of course, it was illusion, so her fingers were somewhat through him. Aizawa couldn't help but smile at Yin, carrying antics when some when suddenly their attention was shifted over to the mother. She was hyperventilating as the midwives quickly started to panic. She is losing too much blood, they panicked. Yin frowned sadly as she slowly made her way over to the dying mother, and with a wave of her hand to the lady, Yin felt her healing magic flow through her as she focused on the mother. Her breathing started to slow down and relax as she turned her head to smile at her newborn son. Sadly, unseen by the humans, stood the goddess of death. She towered over the unexpecting mother as she muffled out her flames of life. No, Yin cried in the sadness and anger. Yin stood out of the room, dropping the illusion. Aizawa quickly flew after her. He eventually found her sitting in the shadow still of one of the towers. She was staring down at the earth below, at the many human kingdoms below. Yin, things like this happen. You did your best you could, but the affairs of life and death aren't within your domain, Aizawa said as he placed a hand on her shoulder. I just didn't want the boy's life to begin with tragedy, Yin sobbed. You know, for some reason, something tells me he will be destined for great things, Aizawa said as he sat across from her. He looked over at the faint light from the stairs shone down on his lovely goddess. Her lovely skin shined beautifully in the light as her hair danced in the breeze A smile formed on her face. As the eye-colored eyes met his, Aizawa shuffled, When Yin suddenly pulled him into a hug, he slowly returned her embrace with a small blush on his cheeks. Sadly, the moment was interrupted by a chilling chuckle from the darkness. A pair of turquoise eyes pierced out of the shadows with a scythe, like a smile. Aizawa quickly jumped up and got between them, his wings scattered out wide with a scar-like capture tool floating around him. "You are not welcomed here, Dabi," Aizawa growled. "What? No hello to your old friend Yin?" Dabi taunted. "Not anymore. After you tricked me into helping bring back the dead, and then tried to frame me," Yin frowned. "You're still mad about that? It was thanks to me that you befriended the god of life, though. Does they ever talk about me?" Dabi asked whatever was left of his pale skin that was on his cheeks turning slightly pink. Ever since that day he saw, I think, Nimi or something, he grew, I don't know this word, but it's like entranced. It's another word for entranced, but I'm stupid, so yeah. Dare I say, obsession? To this day, he's still trying to find a way to seal life. "Leave, Dabi. You are not welcome here in the Moon Palace," Aizawa growled. "Hey, and Namin is more important things to do than deal with you," Yin added with a cold glare. "Fine. Then I'll do something she can't ignore," he chuckled as his whole body engulfed in flames. A sturdy flame struck Aizawa in the wing, burning away most of his feathers. Dabi quickly disappeared without a trace. Yin turned to see his goddess to make sure she was okay. "Your wing, Aizawa. He hurt you," Yin said with sorrow as she gently stroked his wing. "It's not ouch," Aizawa cried as he tried to fix his wing. With a sigh, she waved her hand and started to heal his wing. His wing slowly regrew its feathers, and a pain quickly faded away. With a sigh of relief, he soon relaxed and leaned against the wall. "Do you think Dabi meant what he said?" Yin asked nervously. "I wouldn't put it past him," Aizawa sighed as he sat next to Yin. "If he tries to hurt you in any way, I promise I'll keep you safe," Aizawa declared. "My hero," Yin giggled as she gave him a peck on the cheek. "Get some rest." Days after Dabi's threat, we kept a watchful eye out for anything suspicious. I made sure to stay on top of things, to keep Yin safe, and to keep sure she feels safe. Things were eerily quiet, and in most parts, nothing out of the ordinary until today. "Aizawa, something's wrong with the Sun Palace," Yin said as she looked through. What? I think there's supposed to be stethoscopes or something. "What's wrong?" I asked curiously. "The palace is not moving, nor or in the right place in the sky," Yin said with a worried look. She quickly guided her palace towards the sun castle. I quickly flew ahead to see what was wrong. Just as I got to the castle, Dabi was hurled out of the tallest tower and fell thousands of miles towards the earth. I flew through the window and saw a burnt sun god, Hawks. I helped him to his chambers and waited for Yin to arrive. Hawk's palace was very different from Yin's elegant white marble castle. With beautiful silver and moonstone accents, the castle of the sun was entirely made of a golden sunstone. Very godly. Soon Yin arrived, and I guided her through the palace. "So, this is the Sun Palace. It's certainly bright and so humid," Yin said, trying to fan herself. Soon, we made it to his chambers, though this time he was awake. His bright red flared up. Oh my god! Defensively, as his eyes up suspiciously. "Who are you?" Hawks demanded, as his feathers turned razor sharp. "If you are here to take my celestial powers, then you are sadly mistaken," he coughed. I was able to get him back into bed after telling him that wasn't our intentions. After Yin was able to get to work with his burns, this was quite as I kept watch to make sure Hawks didn't try anything. He watched her suspiciously till his eyes landed on the crescent moon brooch on her dress. "So, you're my celestial opposite. It's kind of you to help me at a time like this, even though you know it's forbidden for us to meet," he said cautiously. "Well, I can't leave you like this after what happened. Not too long ago, Dabi said he would do something that Namiri could not notice. I never thought he would try to attack you, so I'm sorry for not warning you. Though we must keep balance. I can't let my opposite side fall," Yin said with an emotional expression. Hawks's eyes widened slightly, but chuckled at her reasoning as he smiled at her. She soon continued to work. Hawks would now and again would say something flirty. He would continue every time he would get her to blush. This made Aizawa's blood boil as he balled his fist in his side. Once Yin was done, the Quigley two left and returned to the Moon Palace, and quickly moved out of the sun's way. Little did she know that she also left with Hawks's heart that day. Every once in a while, Hawks would send her a gift. Aizawa sometimes let his jealousy get the best of him and hide some of the gifts. His heart would ache, and his blood would boil at the thought of Yin would fall for him. So one night, "Lady Yin," he called. Shota, you just called me Yin?" She smiled at him. "Yin, the palace will fly over the moon pool soon. Would you like to go?" Aizawa asked quietly. "That's a wonderful idea, but we need to be quick." Yin smiled brightly. With a soft smile, Aizawa picked Yin up bridal style and flew ahead to the palace. Soon they landed at a cave looking out on the sea. With the moon palace inside the cave, they relaxed sigh. Yin pulled her skirt up as she dipped her slender legs into the cool water. Aizawa blushed heavily as he stared at his lady's legs. It didn't help that Yin kept patting a spot next to her, asking him to join her. He slowly did as she held his hand as the light of the moon palace softly shone through the holes in the ceiling of the cave. The moonlight sparkled on her smooth skin and shimmered the jewelry she wore. Aizawa slowly worked up the courage to confess, "Yin, I want to," but the moment it was cut short by a chilling crackle. The two quickly turned to see Kuma, the god of the stars. He had a cruel smile on his face as he stepped into light. "It's been a while, Yin, dear sister," Kuma said in a sickeningly sweet tone. "Kuma, what are you doing here?" Yin asked with a nervous smile. "What are you doing here? Are you fooling around on your job?" He chuckled mockingly. "You are worshipped and loved by so many mortals, and you play around and ignore your duties, while I work and slave away, and I'm left in your shadow." "Kuma, what are you doing here?" Aizawa asked. "Looks you finally did what I command you to do," Kuma smiled at Aizawa. "What is he talking about?" Yin asked, turning to Aizawa. Tears welled up in her eye-colored eyes. Aizawa froze as his words were caught in his throat. "For so long, I remained in your shadows, and I always out of reach. Finally, I get what I deserve." Kumo smiled twistedly. "My angel Aizawa was ordered to befriend you, and lead you somewhere away from the palace." He laughed. "Is this true?" Yin asked in disbelief. "No, I'm no longer loyal to him," Aizawa choked. But before he could explain, a sword plunged into her back and pierced out of her chest. Kumo plunged his sword into his own sister's heart. Yin, betrayed by her own brother. Time seemed slow as Aizawa watched Kumo quickly absorb Yin's power as she collapsed onto the ground. "No!" Aizawa screamed as he ran over to Yin's fallen form. He pulled her close as his tears ran down his face. He buried his face into her shoulder as Kumo stood over him. "This wouldn't have to hurt you if it had just done what you were told. But you had to do it yourself and fall in love with her," Kumo mocked. "Shut up," Aizawa spat. Kumo scowled as he kicked him in the face, knocking him to the ground. "Why must you always fail so miserably? You knew what would happen, yet you fall for her anyways. I guess you never learn your lesson those other times. Enjoy her while you still can, fallen angel." Kumo laughed as he vanished. Yin pulled her close as he took her lightly, her eyes opening painfully slowly. "Yin," he gasped in relief. "Aizawa, what happened to you?" Yin asked as she stroked the bruise on his face. Tears started to fall when she couldn't feel her healing powers. "You're dying, and you're worried about my little bruise. You're unbelievable," he sobbed. "My star, don't you get like this. I love you. You're my best friend," she smiled. "I love you too. So stay, please," he begged. His feathers turned charcoal black, losing his angelic powers. But the light was gone from her eyes as she drew her final breaths. Aizawa cried out in anger and sadness as he held Yin's lifeless body, as he looked up at Kuma's moon palace and scowled as he cursed at him, watching the once beautiful white moon turn blood red.